Welcome to the Spirit Tapes channel. I'm Alaric Allen. I run this place. I'm making this video today because I want to address a few little things to do with people that are interested in spirit communication and want to try to do the same thing. One, if you're going to do it, please do it with caution, right? Too many people I see just turning on a spirit box and trying to talk to spirits and then turning it off. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Because when you turn a spirit box on and you ask for spirit to come through, you're inviting spirit in. You need to always do a protection or a prayer or something, and when you close, you're supposed to get rid of them, right? In a nice way, like say thank you for coming, please go back to where you came from until I'm ready to work again. You cannot stay around me, you cannot attach to me. You've got to do something and put that out there, put some kind of cloak of protection on, okay? So please, for one thing, do that, okay? That's the first thing. Secondly, it's people that want to do spirit box communication but can't afford the spirit boxes. This is quite a big one because people that make specialist spirit boxes, and there's quite a lot of options out there nowadays, they charge the hundreds. They're in the hundreds, and they generally tell you that it's got specialist things in it that make it work better, all of that kind of stuff, and I think that puts a lot of people off, and I'll get back to this in a minute. But because it puts people off, it gives them another option where they go for maybe a phone app, like an application for a tablet or something like that, or a PC even. You can get programs on phones and computers that mimic spirit box behaviour, and yeah, they can work. They can work. People that know me know I prefer analog to digital. Tape is way better at picking up spirit voices than digital recorders, and radio, genuine radio, is far better at getting responses, I think, than apps. But apps have worked for me with some remarkable responses sometimes. So yeah, they're valid. But I will say, if you do choose to go the app route, you need to be careful. Now, there are these people that make spirit communication apps that are the biggest scammers I've ever encountered in this field. Ever. I'm not even going to say their name, because I don't even want to promote them in a bad way, and saying their name is a bad taste in my mouth anyway. But they created these tools that supposedly let you speak to spirits and hear them back, let you see spirits as an SLS stick figure, and they have one that lets you see AI images. Now, the red flag straight away, if your paranormal tool uses AI, it's fit for the bin. It doesn't even matter if spirit can use AI. That's irrelevant, because as long as AI is in there, it's not evidence. It's too easy for AI to make something artificially intelligent to make you think you've got a response. And you don't know how they programmed this thing either. I wouldn't be at all surprised they programmed it to deliberately deceive people. If you put AI in your software that's meant to communicate with spirits, it's not worth shit. It's garbage. The idea of ITC, Instrumental Transcommunication Research, is to minimize as much as possible the false positives and to debunk stuff that is not spirit. You can't do that with a tool that runs on AI. It's deliberately, it's promoted as an AI tool that spirits can use and manipulate to speak. Says who? I mean, it's just AI, you know? If it's got AI in it, it's worthless. Complete garbage. So that's not only a scam, it's stupid, right? But I know what you're thinking, but aren't these tools free? Yeah, they want you to think that at first. They give you about 2 minutes of free use a day. Right, now, in the early days when I first saw these tools, I took a chance on them. I didn't buy the full versions. I took the trials because I wanted to see what they're like. Did I get responses through the voice thing? Yeah. Was some of it an answer? Don't know. Not sure. Can't say how legit it is or if it works. I've heard a lot of good reviews. People say they got good responses from them. Maybe it does work. But the scam comes from the fact that they are not purchasable. You can't buy them and own them now. There's a lot of paranormal apps out there that have a price tag, and that's fine. Someone took the time to develop that. They're entitled to get paid for it if they're charging. That's fine. You also get a lot of free ones, also fine. But this particular let's just say these people that are selling this and making these, they don't let you buy them. They give you 2 minutes free a day, or you can subscribe and give them money every single month for as long as you decide to keep that. So you're essentially paying them for the rest of your life if you choose to use this for the rest of your life. And a lot of the features are locked if you don't do that. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that there was one time when I was using one of their cameras and I actually got some evidence coming through. And I thought, hey, this could be something. Gotta record this, gonna analyse this when I get home. But it wouldn't let me. Sorry, you have used up your daily use. So this evidence that I've just got here, right in front of me, that I'm seeing come up on this camera, which could potentially never happen again, I can't have, because they've locked it under this little limit. So if you take this thing on an investigation and you haven't paid them for the rest of their life with their subscription garbage, evidence that you might catch might be lost forever. That's a big red flag, isn't it? And it gets worse. Also, they have the nerve to block screenshots. So even if you can't record this thing that you can see coming up on the camera, you'd think quickly take a snapshot at least, just so I've got evidence. No. Screenshotting is disabled. That is the behaviour of a scammer. They have blocked you from even taking a screenshot of the evidence of paranormal activity because you haven't given them money. People that are developing tools for ICC, yeah, by all means, charge for your products. You have to, right? You're putting your time and your life into this. But make it a one-time payment. To make it a subscription is the definition of a scam. Because they don't care that you lose the evidence that you're seeing. They only care that you give them money. And if you don't give them money, fuck your evidence. That's how they work. That's how they operate. And you know why they operate like that? Because an infinite supply of money coming in funds them to go around the world to all these nice places and different locations to film their, quite frankly, terrible ghost hunt videos. They go to these different places around the world, which they most likely do on your money that you're giving them for nothing, so that they can film themselves doing silly scared faces and acting like they're in a horror film. Complete garbage, complete scammers, and they should not get a penny for anything they've done. If you care about instrumental transcommunication and you care about the research, then you need to help people further that research. You're not furthering it by locking it behind an infinite paywall that you have to pay forever to fund their luxury. That is not how it should work. This is a scientific research into the paranormal to prove scientifically that it's real. And these people are blocking that progression with their garbage. Right? So I'm sure a lot of people probably know who I'm talking about. These people, forget about them because they are scammers. All they want is your money to live in luxury and do what they want on your money and make stupid videos with stupid thumbnails of them with a stupid scared face holding up a crucifix. Ooh, like you're in a horror movie. Grow the fuck up, please. Right? This is a very serious field of research and you're making a fucking mockery of it. So, you've got people like that, right? And I'm putting a caution on that because people will fall for it. People have. People are saying, it's so great, I get so many responses. Great, I'm pleased for you, right? But it's still a scam regardless. And the AI thing, I wouldn't even have that for free. That's garbage. That's complete and utter trash. And using that on a paranormal, spiritual, whatever you're doing, it's a waste of time and energy. And even if a spirit does come through using it, it's evidence that's fit for the bin because it's already debunked by having AI software in it. So, what is an affordable and reliable method to communicate with spirits if you cannot afford spirit boxes, if you're not into doing the apps, and you don't want to pay scammers for the rest of their life and keep them in luxury to do stupid videos? What do you do, right? So I'm going to show you now that you don't need anything special, right? A lot of people that make ghost boxes, even people that make apps, are going to say you need something special built for the purpose, when in reality it's completely not true. I'm sorry, but it ain't. It's a lie. spirits can communicate through radio frequencies. We already know this. That's what spirit boxes do. They scan radios. They just skip through the stations endlessly forever, and spirits can manipulate that to talk. That's how they work, right? So what is to stop a normal radio from doing that? Nothing. The only difference is it won't be auto scanned. The ones with the dial work fine. Let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I use when it comes to non-official spirit boxes. I use this, and I've got another one of these on its way tomorrow, a different one, more portable, a bit smaller. Obviously this one's got a tape deck in it. You don't have to have that if you don't use tape. If you record your sessions in another way, that's fine. I prefer tape because it's better at capturing spirit. You can use digital. I do advise you record with something though, because you're going to miss the responses. So what you do, basically, this, if you look on the top, it's got all these different things on it. So I set it to tape like that, press record, which is here, and then I ask a question, right? Then I switch it to radio like that, and depending on what one of these you've got it set to, that's the radio you're going to get. And then you use this here, this tuning dial, manually. So you turn it yourself like that, see? And you do it back and forth until you get responses. So essentially it's doing the exact same thing as a spirit box, except that you're manually tuning it. That's the only difference. You're going to get people that tell you that you need the apps or you need their specialist equipment. When it comes to this, it's a lie. It's not true. They're trying to sell the product. That's all they're doing. And I don't even doubt that they put special things in them. I know that there's some spirit boxes you can get that have got earth magnets in them, which are good for communication, and copper wire, all of that. In my case, earth magnets are not an option because I use tape, and magnets erase tape, so that's no good, right? So I use crystals and other things. But if you don't use tape, yeah, I can see why some of those things might be helpful, but they're not necessary. The original spirit boxes were just like this. They were manual tuned dial radios, but it does work and it does do the job. And I'm going to prove that by taking it in the kitchen and showing you now that you can get very good responses using this method. I do advise getting specialist spirit boxes eventually if you're very serious about it. That's why I've got at least 6 of them. And I even recommend trying out some of the apps, but not the subscription ones. Forget those. Those are terrible. And not the ones that use AI. Terrible. The idea is to eliminate false positives, not deliberately create them. So anything that uses AI is garbage automatically. So let's take it downstairs, give it a test, and you'll see what I mean. Layla? Or anyone? Is there anyone here that wants to speak to me? If anyone's there, can you say your name, please? I thought I heard someone say Layla there. Layla, is that you? Layla, can you hear me?
Okay.
That's no.
Double. Okay.
That's no.
Double.
Is there a message that anyone wants to give to me?
By majority. By majority. Look.
F. Doctor.
Hide. I'm gonna take stuff.
Result.
Here's
Okay, thank you. So yeah, as you can see, a regular manual tune radio is a spirit box, and it works just as good as any other spirit box. If you want communication with spirits and you can't afford the expensive several £100 boxes, or you can't trust the apps, maybe you're like me and you prefer analog, this is the way to go. You can get some radios that are a few pounds each, and if it hasn't got the tape part, it's even cheaper than that. So, you know, there's a lot of options for those that can't afford the more dearer things, and I sympathise when people can't afford things like that, because I understand, right? You shouldn't have to have a lot of money to be able to speak to your loved ones. You definitely shouldn't have to pay loads of money for that. Absolutely not. Thanks for watching, and I'll be using these things a lot more, these radio tape decks. You'll see what I mean in future videos, because they're good and they do the job. Take care. See you all soon.